For more, let's bring in Kansas Republican Senator Roger Marshall. Senator, welcome.
Thanks, Mike.
Obviously, we were going to talk about a wide range of other topics, but let's get your reaction to this breaking news of 2 U.S. soldiers killed, one American interpreter wounded, one American interpreter killed, 3 others wounded. Your reaction, sir?
Well, Mike, this is, of course, just tragic news, and I'm reminded every day that the price of freedom is not free. As the father of a soldier who just spent a year overseas, I certainly understand the concern by all the parents and brothers and sisters and spouses out there. Our hearts just reach out to these soldiers' families. And as a soldier, former soldier myself, I would have been on the receiving end of this as a doctor, part of the evacuation team. So I'm sure there's more injuries than this, and just want to lift up in prayer those people that are working to save even more lives as well. So tragic news. It's a very fragile situation. The price of freedom is not free.
What about the mission of U.S. service members in Syria taking on remnants of ISIS? Obviously a dangerous mission when you're talking about taking on an active terrorist group.
Yeah, Mike, so I grew up in Vietnam, and to this day we question the soldiers that we lost there. And I think it's good to sit there and say that let's not let these soldiers' lives be in vain. We do want peace. What is our role across the world? How many people should be overseas? I think those are questions we wake up every day asking ourselves. As a senator, I wake up every morning. The first thing I think about is the safety and security of America. These soldiers are making us safe, but we paid a huge cost to do that.
You mentioned your family's ties to the military. Obviously, this must hit close to home with your military background and with a son in the military.
You know, it does. My dad served, my brother served. Someone since the Civil War, every generation from my family has served. And I think this is so hard on families. If you've not served in the military, you have no idea the weight that the family members share. And just the soldiers that are over there, please reach out to your folks and your spouses and tell them you're okay. We're worried to death about you all. Thank you to all the soldiers that are helping keeping us safe, though.
I'm reminded after covering the Afghan war, there were green on blue incidents. Obviously, there will be an investigation into this incident, so I don't want to get ahead of the facts, but your thoughts on this person, I guess, getting close enough to kill our service members?
Yeah, so I mean, President Eisenhower said, "I hate war with all its brutality and all its futility." And this is an example. This is a war. We have a war on drugs. I'm grateful for President Trump trying to slow down the drugs coming into this country. We have a war on ISIS and terrorism as well. And they're all interconnected. So I'm just in shock finding out, just like you just moments ago, 2 young soldiers and an interpreter lost their life dying for our freedom. And they should be honored. I'm grateful. It sounds like the perpetrator's already been killed.
What does this tell you about the danger of the neighborhood in terms of American service members operating in a place like Syria?
This has always been a powder keg. The Middle East was a powder keg long before we were born. It's been a powder keg for thousands of years. Has it been a year since the Syrian leader left as well? So I think this is kind of an anniversary weekend as well. So this place is never safe over there. On the other hand, I think that our efforts there have saved thousands of American lives as well. But I think today we stop and we just mourn the loss of these soldiers and say thank you to them and their families, and let their families know, as Secretary Hegseth said, we're not going to stand for anyone who assaults American soldiers. We will even the score.
What do you think President Trump's message may be later today when he goes to the Army-Navy football game?
You know, I think it's going to certainly be, as you said, a moment of silence for these soldiers. And I think it'll be a dignified answer. But, you know, with President Trump, you hit him once, he's going to hit you 10 times. And he will swear allegiance to these soldiers and whatever, I hate to use the word revenge, but recourse there's going to be. He will not rest until he gets to the bottom of this and settles the score.
Kansas Senator Roger Marshall, thank you for coming in, sir. I'm sorry that this was the nature of our conversation. It was great to have your expertise.
Thank you.
Hey, it's Will Kane. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News channel on YouTube. It's the best way to get our latest interviews and highlights. And click to subscribe to the Will Kane podcast for full episodes right now.